Hello everyone, welcome to this update video. I do hope that you're doing really amazing today. So we're going to be looking at what is happening in the North Atlantic basin. In parts of the Eastern Caribbean, it's a little active with an area of low pressure which extends within the region, a trough. So a trough is an elongated area of low pressure. So we're going to be taking a look at what is going on and also what is expected as we progress throughout today and even into tomorrow. Alright, now returning to the satellite imagery here, we can see what is going on. A bit of action in parts of the states as well. And also, even if we look towards Africa, notice that huge blob coming off. Now, we're going to be seeing this happen a lot more. Eventually, we're going to have these disturbances, these low pressure areas propagating off the African coast, which will be the tropical waves. So we're seeing a lot more of these blobs, and sometimes as they're going to come out, they're going to look like this. And a bit more towards the edge of the screen here, you're going to be noticing that little glitch. So that's a little glitch on the satellite there. That's what it looks to expands and extends, and it looks a bit stretched out there. Don't mind that too much. But overall, we're going to be having these huge blobs of convection rolling off the African coast, some of which will be associated with the tropical waves to come. And of course, the tropical waves may eventually materialize if the environmental conditions are favorable. Regardless, though, they are pretty much the main source of rain for the Caribbean throughout much of the summer and even as we head into autumn as well. And as aforementioned in previous videos, there are like 60 to 65 tropical waves that emerge. And they could even start as soon as late April going into May. So I'll keep you posted on that. But as we head closer to the Caribbean here, as I mentioned, we've got some troughing within the vicinity of the Eastern Caribbean. And notice all that moisture coming up from the southwest moving to the northeast. So this is helping to result in maybe some showers and overcast weather across the ABC Islands, parts of South America, Trinidad, Tobago, much of the Lesser Antilles, Anguilla, all the way through Grenada, and of course including Barbados. And even for the Virgin Islands as well, maybe a stray shower or so, maybe it's just overcast. Let me know what's going on there. And then as we head to our Greater Antilles, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, Jamaica, Cuba, and even the islands of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and the Cayman Islands, there isn't much happening. Likewise for much of Central America and also the offshore islands there. Then as we look at the rainfall forecast, here we can see what is expected as we're going to be heading through today and even into tomorrow as well. So going into tomorrow morning. Now this is what Euro is showing. More color means more rain. So again, with all that moisture coming up, there's going to be some additional showers across much of the Lesser Antilles. Maybe a few spots with an isolated thunderstorm or a heavy downpour. Likewise for the ABC Islands, it's not usually active within that spot, typically dry all year round, but there are a few instances when there's a system close enough to be influencing the weather and may result in some rainfall for the islands. And then towards northern South America, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana is going to be active as per usual. Typically some decent rainfall within this area, so that's going to be continuing. And even as we head to parts of southern Central America, Costa Rica, Panama may get some showers. A few isolated showers definitely possible for parts of Honduras, Nicaragua, Belize, even as we head to coastal Guatemala and El Salvador. And it is going to be a similar case for the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Cuba, the Bahamas, and Turks and Caicos, Hispaniola, and Puerto Rico. The Virgin Islands should be on the drier side for the most part. Very limited rainfall activity there. So that is what is expected in terms of rainfall. And through much of this week, it's been very windy for some areas, but that's been improving. Some of us have definitely noticed that change where the calmer winds blowing, but it's been very windy as of late. And it may be a bit of a windy day across some areas, winds going up to 15, maybe 20 knots, potentially higher gusts in sections of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, offshore Cuba, and even Jamaica and the Cayman Islands as well. But conditions will continue to improve and get even calmer as we progress into tomorrow. And of course, those more vibrant shades of purples, and even when those blues are popping up, that is indicative of those stronger winds. And now as we look at this surface chart here, we can see that broken orange line, and those represent surface troughs. Those are the elongated low pressure areas which help to influence inclement weather conditions, the rainfall, the thunderstorms, all that moisture. So that is what we typically observe with these low pressure systems. And that's what's going on now for the Eastern Caribbean. So it's not a whole lot happening, guys. And even in terms of May is right around the corner, literally next week is going to be the start of May. It is likely that parts of the Caribbean will be experiencing above average rain. And I'll be going into more details about that, especially as we're going to be heading into this weekend with that weekly countdown video to the hurricane season. So I will be discussing more in terms of the hurricane season at that time. But for now, that's what we have going on across the Caribbean Basin and North Atlantic at large. And I do hope you found this brief update to be informative. However, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll get to you when I can. And remember to always be weatherwise.